I'm Christian, and welcome to my channel.
The money needed to breathe. Shackled giants won't let me leave. Broke this soul in a world so cold. He gave dying soul for a pot of gold. Moonlight marks through window cracks. Empty soul whispers things I lack. Atlanta boots worn down to the neck. Feels like I'm in a broke down here. I mean the money needed to breathe. Shackled chains won't let me leave. Broke the soul in a world so cold. Babe dying so.
Welcome to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you're new, and welcome back to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you've been watching. As you can see, we're trying something new. We're doing I'm currently recording my face cam off my phone, and I'm watching a video on my tablet, and I'm thinking I'll just when I'm done recording my phone to use my face cam, I will record the video of my phone. So I start planning on doing it. This lighting is a huge problem for me though. This lighting. I guys hate this lighting right now, bro. Hold up. Let me see if I can change this lighting, bro. Let's see. Is this better? I think this is better. Yeah, I think this is better. But like I was saying, welcome to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you're new, and welcome back to Christian's Gaming and Reactions if you've been watching. And in today's video, we're going to be reacting to When an Audition Changed Marvel Forever. So let's get into it.
What kind of superhero would I want to play? Maybe, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man in like 10 years time.
Tom Holland. Nowadays, everybody knows he's a Spider-Man, but becoming Spider-Man has been a gift and a curse, because that's also the only thing that most people know about him. Tom Holland has had a very interesting career, starring in a lot of other movies that most people have never seen.
Yeah, Uncharted, I think there's one in the verse for Tom Holland right now.
And a young redneck in the devil all the time. Tom
From
Holland's
Spider-Man and Uncharted.
Soon he'll be playing in The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, and perhaps he will become the next James Bond. No matter what role he takes on, there's always this one question hanging over him. Will Tom Holland ever be able to star in a movie where people don't instantly see Spider-Man? Well, today I want to shine some light
I
into
see him
this
as Tom
young
Holland.
man's
If he's
career.
playing Spider-Man, I see him as Spider-Man. If he's playing another character, I see him as that character.
Was born on June 1st, 1996 in Kingston upon Thames, England. His father was a stand-up comedian, and his mother was a photographer. Tom Holland has actually been a dancer from a very young age. He has done hip-hop, tap dance, and even ballet. Even though he was bullied for it in high school, he didn't stop. When he was only 12 years old, he got the lead role in a musical called Billy Elliot, which required a lot of gymnastic training.
It took me about two and a half years to actually get onto the stage.
He performed this musical over 180 times in the West End Theatre, one of the biggest theatres in London. Little Tom Holland carried the show for over 2 years, which was basically a crash course in building stamina, stage presence, and hitting remarks.
I'm gonna actually use this in every video if this actually works. If this works, I'm gonna use it in this video, in all my videos from now on. Something like that.
Apparently, to prepare for Spider-Man, Tom suggested going undercover to a high school. It was a joke at first, but Marvel actually sent him to the Bronx School of Science.
I went to school with a fake name and a fake accent. Even the teachers didn't know that I was not a real student, so they would bring me up to the front of the class and be like, what do you think, new kid? So I sat in the back of the classroom next to quite a pretty girl. She's like, so what's your deal, man? I was like, well, do you want to know my secret? I'm actually Spider-Man. Dude, you're nuts. I'm actually an actor, I'm British, and I'm playing Spider-Man. And she didn't believe me. Of course she didn't believe me. That's a ridiculous story.
As you might know, Tom Holland is terrible at keeping secrets. The amount of times this man has accidentally spoiled parts of Marvel movies is ridiculous.
He has a problem. Bro, Tom Holland has a problem with spoiling movies.
So much to the point where Marvel did fake scripts to stop the spoilers. Lewis. Also, Tom Holland is a very high contestant in becoming the next James Bond. It's either him or Jacob Elordi or Harris Dickinson. And I mean, he does have that Bond aura around him. Yet he pitched a young Bond origin story to Sony Pictures.
Please try to become Agent 007 in the near future. I'd love to see you kick ass as Mr. Bond. Well, me too. That would be sick.
And lastly, people think Tom Holland got engaged to Zendaya, but actually him and Jake Gyllenhaal have been acting pretty sus lately.
It's a romance, and I'm jealous. It is a romance. We are in love. He is my husband. And we're really happy together.
All jokes aside, the early theater work gave young Tom Holland confidence in front of a camera, which he needed sooner than he thought, because Tom's first movie role wasn't a lighthearted teen comedy or a background role as an extra. It was a harrowing tsunami survival drama called The Impossible. Physically, it was not an easy performance, spending most of the movie either drowning or bruised. Apparently, they didn't have many takes to get things right, as it took a lot of time to set up the stunts with all the water. But looking at the behind-the-scenes footage, it seemed like Tom had a lot of fun. In one scene, we see Tom comforting his injured mother. His voice is breaking, his face full of dirt and tears, and it made people sit up and say, "Who is this kid?"
Promise me you won't me anyway. I thought you were dead, Mama.
That early acclaim led to a movie called In the Heart of the Sea in 2015, which was another physical role with long shoots and a lot of water. He played alongside Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor himself, proving he could match with A-list actors. Little did he know that he would be in a Marvel movie with him a few years later. Now, Tom didn't stick to big-budget dramas either. He took on Edge of Winter in 2016, playing a teenager stranded with his unstable father, and The Lost City of Z, playing the son of an obsessed explorer. These weren't flashy blockbuster roles, but they were roles that built his credibility and showed he wasn't afraid of hard work and doing his own stunts. But in 2015, everything changed. Tom Holland was 19 at the time, and Marvel was looking for a new Spider-Man. The Andrew Garfield era was over, and they wanted someone younger, fresher, and crucially, believable as a high schooler. Tom Holland auditioned against 1,500 other actors, doing multiple screen tests, chemistry runs with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and the stunts proved that he could handle the physicality. Now, as you might guess, the one thing that set him apart from all the other actors was his athletic background, opening his audition like this. He casually pulled up a backflip in his first audition, which wasn't just showing off, it was actually something Peter Parker would do. He's agile, spontaneous, a little cocky, but also a charming young lad. This audition later turned out to become legendary.
I guess if you could do what I could do, maybe you have a responsibility to do some good.
Marvel decided
Keep in mind,
to
it was like
in
3 a.m. I
2016.
got recommended
Made his
this
debut
video,
with Captain
so I just
America
saved it
Civil
for
War.
today.
It wasn't a Spider-Man movie yet, but it was the moment he got introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nice job, kid. Thanks. Big fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Hey, everyone.
Good job. This introduction of Spider-Man to the Avengers is simply iconic. You got these big guys standing there, and suddenly this kid shows up. You can just tell he's still a child, giving his Spider-Man a lot of room to improve and grow.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all.
I went to myself for like 1 day.
Stark should say that.
This new version of Peter Parker felt fresh. He was nervous around the Avengers, still learning the ropes, but with a perfect sprinkle of humor and heart. And just like that, Spider-Man was reborn. And so was Tom Holland's career. His first solo film came a year later in 2017 with Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, thanks to his gymnastics background, he did almost all the stunts himself. Unlike the Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield versions, this Peter Parker was mentored by Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, and dealing with all of this new technology, but at the same time is still worried about making it to class on time.
Probably stop staring before he gets creepy, though. Too late.
Holland's version of Peter wasn't the tortured, brooding type. He was basically an over-caffeinated child, as seen in the audition. His second movie came in 2019 with Far From Home, taking him out of the US and into Europe. This is the movie where the relationship with MJ, aka
Sorry,
Zendaya,
very
begins to
thirsty,
develop
guys.
beyond friendship, leading to their first kiss near the end of the film. Here, Holland showed more emotional depth and the weight of responsibility sitting on Peter's shoulders. Also,
Saw
he made a little
Spider-Man,
visit to my country,
Far From Home and No Way Home yesterday. Really good movies.
Then came his third movie, No Way Home, in 2021. Holland had to navigate multiverse chaos, act alongside two Spider-Man, and carry Peter Parker through his darkest arc yet. By the end, his version of Peter was truly alone, anonymous, and broke. It's Holland's most mature Spider-Man performance to date, and also his personal favorite performance.
Everything Spider-Man touches
Playing.
comes to ruin.
Was
Now recently,
emotional.
a lot of behind-the-scenes clips have been surfacing of the
Oh yeah,
full
and if you want to
Spider-Man
support
film,
me as a
Spider-Man
content creator,
This will
make
mark
sure to
Holland's eighth
like,
time playing the character. We also see
and
Frederick
subscribe
Spider-Man, brighter
to
reds, deeper blues, and a
this
very Spider-Man
channel
that is more comic
and the
accurate.
Christian Does
Now,
Everything
here's where it
channel.
gets interesting. Well, Spider-Man
Oh,
defined
Stacey,
Tom Holland's career
you said
and
you
made
wanted
him
an
a
autograph?
household
I
name.
got you,
Holland
Billy.
didn't want to be typecast. Throughout the years, he has proven that he is a lot more versatile than people think. The biggest shift came in 2020 with his dramatic roles such as the Devil All the Time. Playing alongside Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland played a quiet country boy
And there's your
surrounded by
signature. I
violence
like it.
and corruption in post-war
Here's your
Ohio.
scarf,
It's a
though.
slow and menacing
Your
performance
scarf.
that strips away Tom Holland's charm and also his London accent.
That ain't no preacher. He's as bad as they got on the damn radio.
With a film like this, the most important
I don't
step
know
is
if I
getting
speak
the
of
accents
British,
right, because if you don't
I
get the
really
accents
like
right,
this
you might as well
movie.
not
I
do
haven't
it.
seen
Safe
it
to
yet,
say,
bro.
the
Wait
Holland
to
film
see that
What
movie,
really attracted me
bro.
to this role was just the fact that I would be pushing
Too
myself
low
in ways I
quality to
haven't
use the
before.
camera.
It was a really fun process because people associate me, Tom Holland, with Spider-Man at this time of my life, and they expect me to talk like this. Oh my God, man, we gotta go, we gotta go.
I've been watching your every move for the last couple of weeks. Watch it. Put the gun down. Make me talk all day. Don't f***ing lie to me.
This movie shows a side of Tom Holland that is a
This
lot
movie
more
actually seems
intense,
good. I may
aggressive,
actually watch
and
this
ultimately
movie
quite
later
terrifying,
today. It's
really
actually
showing
a
his
good
range
movie.
as an actor.
For me, it's been really exciting to sort of dive into something new and fresh, and hopefully audiences disconnect from the Spider-Man world and dive into Antonio's world. That is Devil All the Time.
Tom is playing it far from safe. In 2021, he played in a movie called Cherry, which is an incredibly sad movie, if I say so myself. And Tom Holland's performance is really incredible, portraying a war veteran returning with PTSD. He physically transformed, capturing both the highs and the deep lows of his character's addiction. We get to see a messy and raw portrayal of how a character's life spirals into drugs and crime. And Tom brings a lot of authenticity to the screen.
I have this voice in my head. I can't. So like about, and I can't make it stop. I don't know what happened to me. Like, I went through a phase where I'd never cry about anything, and now I reckon I cry 4 times a week. I don't cry 4 times a week, but I cry a lot. Start crying now. Yeah. Anyway.
Now in 2021, he played in a movie called Chaos Walking, which was pretty memorable because, well, this happened. We then see him taking a little swim in the lake and fighting a monster. But to be honest, even though Tom did a great job, the movie was kind of a flop. Tom has become a real stuntman over the years. In 2022, he starred in Uncharted, which is pure action adventure. Again, doing all of the stunts himself. I mean, Tom Cruise, you got some competition now. Apparently, after filming Uncharted, he immediately went on to film Spider-Man No Way Home, which made me have a newfound respect for this guy. Because if you want to know what the stunts look like in Uncharted, have a look at this. I can imagine how exhausting it must be filming the stunts and then back-to-back record Spider-Man. So this guy earns every penny of his paycheck. Recently, Tom played in a series called The Crowded Room, playing a man arrested for a crime he doesn't remember committing. It's one of Tom's most challenging roles, playing a character with an identity disorder. Tom even said that it took a toll on his own mental health. Speaking about that, in 2024, Tom deleted his Instagram because he found it too distracting, and the press immediately took the story and fabricated something about him having a mental breakdown.
I just felt like I was so addicted to this kind of false version of my life that it was just taking over. I would be on set working, I'd come and sit in my chair and just scroll. And it was becoming a problem. I was just obsessed with it, and I was obsessed to find out what people were saying and how people, what they thought about me. And the thing that really upset me is the press ran with that, and they tried to make out that I was having this mental breakdown. And what upset me was, if I was having a mental breakdown, that's not for you to report on. They took the story in the wrong direction.
Region
and they
Office,
tried-
Never
they
Seen a
painted
Magazine.
again this negative light on mental health.
In 2024, Tom returned to theater, back to his roots to star in the play Romeo and Juliet, which low-key was a missed opportunity to not cast Zendaya as Juliet. In recent years, Tom Holland has been honest about the possibility of leaving Spider-Man behind, saying he doesn't want to still be playing the role in his 30s if it doesn't feel right, wanting to see the character develop into something new.
What I basically was trying to say is that if I am 30 still playing Spider-Man and I haven't passed on back to a Miles Morales or a Spider-Woman or something more diverse, then I would have done something wrong in the sense of the sort of duties I have to the character.
Well, he's got 1 year left, so it might as well be his last Spider-Man movie ever. But knowing when to step away before a role completely defines you as a character is a great thing to have as an actor. After all, it's the mindset that kept him versatile, willing to jump from blockbusters to intimate dramas. Looking ahead, he's currently filming Spider-Man Brand New Day after repping the Odyssey with Christopher Nolan, which he has called the best work experience of my life. Tom has also expressed interest in directing movies one day, so who knows what we will see. Perhaps we will see him as James Bond, but whether or not it happens, the idea shows that he is thinking beyond Spider-Man. So even though Spider-Man changed Tom Holland's life and defined Tom Holland's career, I think in the coming years he will prove himself to be a lot more than just Spider-Man. Now, until they find the next James Bond, you can prepare yourself by watching Daniel Craig and Luca Guadagnino's
That was
new
an
movie
audition that
called
changed
Queer,
Marvel forever.
which is currently streaming on
From
Mubi,
part as a
not only
content
in my
creator,
country, the
like I
Netherlands,
said
but in
previously.
many other countries.
Subscribe to
Mubi is a
this
curated
channel and the
streaming
Christian
service
Notification
dedicated to
channel with post
elevating great
notifications on
cinema
so you can notify when I post my daily videos. I'm Christian and I'm out. Peace.